decided to go with my tomboy fit today for this particular type of stream. So I've gotten the news about like an hour and a half ago that League of Maidens that the developer's official Twitch has followed me, which is pretty nice news. Since I guess they've seen my recent stream on League of Maidens and took a liking to my content. I'll just wait like a few more minutes and then I'll start. Just see if any more people come to join. Interesting how you mentioned that since before you mentioned something else. Alright, I guess no one else is showing up. So, oh, wait, hold on. Hmm. Anyways, yeah, so pretty much, want to like uh, talk about where I'm going with my content and streams at this point, and what I want to do uh, at this point in my life. So, pretty much, the stuff that I want to talk about in this stream is regarding a hiatus, uh, a new VTuber model design, new overlays, and how I'll approach streaming um, with what I want to do, or with what I want to do IRL. So the first thing I want to talk about is the hiatus. So I've been thinking about doing it for a while now, and pretty soon I'll officially be going on a hiatus for a few reasons. But the primary reason is just start looking for a job so I can start earning money. Originally I did talk about this last year, but I just didn't do any of that since I wanted to focus more on streaming, see where it takes me. I've just been putting it off for a while now, but at this point I probably should already start considering looking into a job and actually start earning money. It would be nice if I did start earning money on Twitch, but realistically, the way how I see it, it's not going anywhere. I mean, considering where I am right now, just realistically, it doesn't seem possible at the for right now till I get more people following me. And then type of job that I want to look for. I just have been doing a lot of research on it only until recently that I started seriously looking, and then what's the word? Refining my resume and stuff to like start seeing what type of jobs would fit what I'm looking for. I'm not gonna say what job specifically, but I'm just you know, just a job where it fits what I've pretty much studied and practiced over these like last few years, even after, you know, the pandemic ended. So then, um, so then when I do go on hiatus, before that, I'll be doing one more week of streams. And then after that, I'll pretty much be going on a hiatus until I eventually, I guess, get my life situated, as you could say, and by that, you know, getting a job and then start earning money, which would lead to the last part that I got below. If I do make a return, a proper return to streaming, I would find it difficult, considering, you know, the time restraint. If the job that I applied for and start working for requires that I start in the morning and then end in the afternoon, which only leaves me the option to stream at night. But there is a problem with that, and it mostly has to do with my family being loud as fuck all the time, and just like, you know, just nagging at each other for some stupid ass reason. Yes, well, this model in particular. Okay, I'm back now. Just but also the internet on my end decided to become autistic and just disconnect me. But anyways, where was I? Yeah. This model in particular, I already have like a bounce animation going. I haven't I haven't done it to the summer outfit as yet. That's why it just remains still. But anyways, yeah. back to what I was talking about. Yeah, just if I do ever, if I do, if I am already working at a job, if assuming that I start working in the morning and then finish around the afternoon, it'll just be a problem for me just because of the shit ton of background noise that goes on. It's just be difficult for me to stream at night just because I have to deal with that shit. Just sometimes, sometimes when it comes to streaming at home when you live with your family, they just sometimes don't have the common sense to shut the fuck up. I just don't really, I really don't make that an issue in my streams. I just don't really. I try my best to like avoid talking about how annoying it is to be streaming while your family just talks in the background when they couldn't just be quiet. And the example here in the background, you just hear that repetitive shit. And the thing is, my family's Mexican, so they just like nag at each other like little fucking chihuahuas and shit. But yeah, my point is, if I do get to streaming, if I do ever get the chance to stream when I'm working or when I'm finished with working, it would probably be at around nighttime. But then again, but then again, that issue with background noise is what I have to deal with. If I've earned enough and maybe lived on my own, then that'd be great. No background noise whatsoever.
¿A dónde voy? ¿A dónde voy? Ya, y ya no voy.
So another reason just dealing with the background noise. I try my best not to get frustrated with that shit. Especially when I stream, I just try to focus on what I'm doing. Thank you, Apple. And also, to sum up the hiatus thing, yeah, just look for a job, and then once I feel like I'm able to come back to streaming, then I'll do it. Cause, well, here's the thing with me, like, people like to repeat themselves a lot, and just personally for me, I find that shit very fucking annoying. That's why I just remind people that they've told me this already, just so that, as how do I put this? It sounds a bit authoritarian, but just like them to know their place. Just because I've already heard that shit so many times. Like, ask yourself if I know this information, and then come back to me. And yeah, it's just a little bit of venting that I'm doing right now, which I'm very aware, which I rarely ever do. It's only like sometimes I'll do it, but I don't do it for too long. Or I try my best not to vent as much. Okay, moving on. Regarding my overlays and my VTuber model. I do plan to upgrade once again, and but this time I want to change everything, especially upgrading my VTuber model. So pretty much what you see up to now with the current overlays and stuff, that would definitely be changing when I do eventually come back to streaming, and that I've already settled down with the job and stuff, as I mentioned already. It's been a while. Once again, use. So, of course, as I mentioned here in my notepad file, I either want to like upgrade to a 3D version or continue using Honk, but like make my VTuber model interactable. Like make the separate joints on my VTuber character as individual parts that I can move around and stuff. And then also have like like brand new expressions as well. And then alerts and overlays. As you can see that I've been using the Lego overlays for a good while now since my old overlay uh and this has to do with the Rosalites after I've quit the group, since I just felt like it wasn't really going anywhere, especially with the members being inactive and stuff. I just decided to, and then also some people uh, that classify themselves as like NSFW type creators, which would include me and a few others, but they've two of them left. One of them because they were already working, and the other one left, because they just felt like they weren't welcomed there in Rosaleats, with the change in direction on how they would move forward with the Discord server as being more of an SFW type server. So yeah, just after a couple weeks, I eventually decided to leave the group altogether and retire as a Rosaleats member. In which the old overlays I had, I pretty much had to get rid of them and use what you currently see now with the scrap mechanic and Minecraft overlays. Which are still relevant to me, but I still prefer to like change them overall to represent me as both a content creator and the VTuber that you see now. So I guess I'll talk a little bit on like the job aspect. I don't want to mention again what job I'm going into specifically, just to keep it private, my IRL life private and stuff. So at the time, when the whole COVID-19 pandemic started, I was studying at college some art related classes in which I studied to get an associate's degree in art, in which I graduated back in 2021. So I guess that should give you an idea of what I'm trying to look for as a job. But then also, like, when the whole pandemic started, I decided to like get into streaming, which is what I like to do, and I grew interested in streaming more, even after the pandemic. And if I've suffered from the coronavirus, then I probably wouldn't be here today to talk about, this stream in particular. But thankfully, I managed to make it through, since the virus isn't really that lethal, even with like having the Moderna vaccines in me. I guess like before streaming and while I was like in the early days of my college experience, just I originally thought, what before I've settled on what I finally wanted to do. I don't know, for some reason I wanted to draw, but I kind of felt lost in like the type of careers that existed. Originally, I wanted to get into animation more, but considering the, well, Western animation to be more specific, but I'm considering the bullshit that I'm seeing with Western animation, at least in America. Just that shit just like kind of turned me down. Just wanted to keep my distance from that, especially with like the shitty shows that have been produced these days. Except for a few selected ones, like I don't know, Invincible for example. It's a pretty good show from what I've heard. Despite being a superhero type show, just like what are pretty much what turned me down in like today's Western animations, just because of all the like the woke shit that's been going on these past few years. Which is why I've pretty much been citing, just been watching more anime because they keep stuff based, and just it's clearly a winner against Western animation. Just because the way how I see Western animation these days is like, what the actual fuck are they doing? Just like, what the fuck are they doing? And a lot of people I agree with that also see the whole state of Western animation as shit. With the exception of like a few shows, as I said. Although I could be biased here since I've never really watched that many Western shows for like the past 7 to 8 years as of now. Since I made the transition to anime back in 2015. Okay, so back to overlays. I'm better off just like continuing sticking. I'm better off just sticking with Roosmar and having him do the overlays and VTuber drawing for me. Since he's been pretty reliable for these past 3 years, and just like all these GFX artists and shit, like at this point they just get on my fucking nerves. Just they're just that desperate for me to ask them for a commission, they've lost all common sense whatsoever to let people go to them rather than them coming to the people that are clearly going to block and ban them one way or another. And I've made the mistake of like commissioning one of those graphic designers since I've never really got the full thing that they asked for. And what I got was kind of a half-assed overlay. and which made me change my opinion on how I see graphic designers these days. Just people that are just that desperate for your money, and they should probably just fuck off. If anything, it pretty much got me to the point where I'm very cynical about how I see certain artists and stuff regarding like VTuber models and graphic or like overlays and stuff. I've just pretty much been cynical ever since. And then the thing is, like, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I just find it hard to like find what type of artists are pretty legitimate in terms of like their uh, overlay and VTuber artworks. Like they do exist. It's just that I don't know how to differentiate between them. Which is probably the reason why I just stuck with Roosmar and their work, since they clearly know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah, I think I think I've pretty much discussed everything that I wanted to talk about here. So, pretty much to conclude, I won't stop streaming just yet. I'll be doing one more week of streams, and then from there, I'll be going on a hiatus. Primarily to start looking for a job, and then also, just be on vacation again. Uh, Primarily to celebrate, one of my family members' birthday. And not broken. Oops. And no point trying to fix what's not broken. Essentially, Apple, yeah. Let's see, talking about content, stream, or the content that I make both for streaming and for my YouTube channel. I'll still be making compilation videos, but I do want to try to get into like other projects, related to YouTube and stuff. As for streaming, I'll still be sticking with the games that I currently play and try my best to look at other games and play new ones, see which ones fit my fancy. I will try to avoid more of like those games that are more FPS. I'll pretty much just be avoiding FPS type games, you know, like Overwatch, the Call of Duty franchise. Obviously, I fucking hate that franchise, if to be honest. And uh, games like Paladins and Omega Strikers. They're also those type of games that I just really do not enjoy. Give me a game that has like a survival aspect, like Minecraft or Scrap Mechanic and Valheim. Give me a game that has like anime waifus to either customize or play with, like Action Time and League of Maidens does. or just give me games that include both of those things into one, if they exist. I'll still keep looking, but just chances are I probably might have a low chance of finding some new games that might catch my attention more. A Neptuna series, pretty anime heavy for an RPG. Okay, I have heard about the Neptunia stuff. Well, heard in terms of like the name and the game. Just haven't really looked into it much. Picture a game concept like this. You go into a character design section to create your character and all. Well, for me, I would prefer to play it as a female character. One that's plus size, big boobs, thighs, and then all the other good stuff. The ability to like make your own clothing or use default clothes that are given to you. And just put me straight into an open world sandbox with said character that I've freshly made. And have like the ability to collect stuff and build wherever you want. Pretty much like with Minecraft Scrap Mechanic in Valheim, but with an anime character for that concept of a game. And then have like, I don't know, like a progression system or quest system or both in the same game. If I can find something like that, then I'll definitely play it. It could be even no. The game would I would prefer it to be like an rated M for mature. For reasons. Doesn't have to be A for adult, doesn't just M for mature. It's just yeah, yeah, essentially Apple. And maybe they can offer like the option to like, I don't know, toggle nudity or something like League of Maidens does, which I could easily not have to use that, but have it there as an option if I want to. Just essentially be able to play the game or to be able to stream the game, I guess. But my point is, like, I wish a game like that, with what I've said, can finally exist. At least now, since I've been hearing that there could potentially be a new era in the gaming industry. I just hope that comes into full fruition now that there's talk about some new change happening. And I guess new games finally being able to unleash their full creativity and not have to be talked down by some Puritan bastard. Okay, one more thing I'll mention before I wrap this up. Right, during my hiatus, I'll probably just start working more on making videos, since I pretty much got like a long list of VODs on my VODs channel that I can just download and edit into a main channel video. So I'd like to focus more on that during my hiatus. Let's just see what happens. Yep, here's hoping. Right, I think I've already said what I needed to say, so I won't be rating anyone today. Just wanted to make this stream nice and quick. So yeah, one more streaming week and then I'm off on a hiatus. So I'm done for now. So see you next time.